As the crisis continues in Syria, let's take a look at two varied opinions on the situation, one internal and one from the US that believes the situation requires immediate intervention. An article in the Syria Times titles and analyzes the situation in Syria, especially when it comes to the growing terrorism threat. The piece, titled "Coalition Fallacies and Illusions Hinder Geneva Talks," starts by stating that the insistence of the coalition delegation to avoid discussing terrorism and violence in Syria means that they are not serious about finding a political solution, and the rejection to recognize that there is terrorism in Syria indicates that they are part of the conspiracy being hatched against Syrian people and they constitute the political cover for terrorism. Combating terrorism is a duty of each Syrian citizen who should assume to preserve his homeland, and anyone who lingers in that raises questions about his Syrian nationality. The article continues to say the agreement on the item of counterterrorism makes us assured that who wants to be a partner in building future, his heart, brain and effort should focus on the restoration of security and stability in Syria. The Syria Times continues to say that the Syrian official delegation submitted a statement on counter-terrorism and the terrorist crimes perpetrated in Syria and massacres at the hands of terrorists, and other delegations doesn't recognize that there is terrorism in Syria. And the unprecedented escalation of terrorism in Syria and the massacres of gunmen in Ma'an and in Hama and in a village in Al-Quneitra coincided with the Geneva talks. Geneva documents affirm that the need for finding atmospheres of security stability is suitable environment for Geneva talks. And in compliance with the Syrian people's aspirations for restoring security, safety and stability, the article says the coalition delegation assumed their responsibility and took a strong unified stand against terrorism. They announced Syria's agreement to the agenda proposed by UN envoy to Syria, Lakhdar al-Ibrahimi, which starts off by rejecting violence and combating terrorism. But the other side pressed ahead with its stubbornness and intransigence. The article concludes the coalition delegation tried to start the discussions with the transitional body without approving any item of counterterrorism, but Syria's official delegation insisted on the item of counterterrorism first. And going now to the US, where the Washington Post features an opinion piece on Obama's failures in Syria. The article, titled "Obama's Failure to Act on Syria," assesses Obama's doctrine in Syria, stating it does not seem to be working. The country has fallen apart. Matters have gone from bad to worse. The Secretary of State suggests that things are so bad that Barack Obama has asked for options. 3 years into the war, and the president wants a plan. The writer Richard Cohen says the death toll has been hideous and Obama would like to do something about it, but he cannot until the options are drawn up, which they have not been. He has asked all of us to think about various options that may or may not exist, John Kerry said while in Beijing. Cohen observes the following: Assad is winning the war, and the Obama administration, amongst others, has stopped predicting that he will be gone in a fortnight or whatever they say in Chicago. Obama turned to Congress for authorization before any intervention. This must have induced feverish vertigo in Assad. The writer then looks at neighboring countries, saying Lebanon totters, Jordan drowns in refugees, Iraq has descended into ethnic chaos, and its border with Syria is a mere rest stop for Islamic radicals. 6 million people have been displaced, 3 million have fled to neighboring countries. Polio has broken out in refugee camps. The United States does next to nothing. Cohen concludes by writing that Washington's dawdling has become the hallmark of Obama's foreign policy. He can make all the speeches he wants, but his confusion and indecision is what other leaders notice and what history will remember. Now, so very late, he has asked for options. Here's one: do something. And for more updates, please visit us on levant.tv. That was it for today. Definitely contrasting views there. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.